New tonight, fighting hate by breaking barriers. That's what a group of local religious leaders are hoping to do. And News 12's Nadia Galindo was at a meeting today, and Nadia, the leaders actually spent some time bonding recently.
That's right. They went on a trip together to Israel. Actually, these are some photos of that trip they took. And I'm told this was more about building community so they can address issues here at home.
That's the saddest part.
A roundtable discussion at Temple Israel in White Plains became a brainstorming session on how to build on new bonds.
Sometimes titles and structures limit you, but when you get to know the actual person, you find out there's really no difference between you and the other person.
Calvary Baptist pastor Reverend Erwin Trollinger was one of 16 religious leaders who went together on a 5-day trip organized by Westchester Jewish Council to Israel last month. It included leaders from both the Christian and Jewish faith, and while they saw parts of the Holy Land, they saw what they had in common.
We come back appreciating one another's faith, but more importantly, appreciating one another.
These new friendships are now being utilized to tackle community ills like hate.
I think it's much harder to dehumanize another person or group of people when you know people.
Anti-Semitism and acts of hate are on the rise in Westchester, a reason Senior Rabbi Annie Tucker with Temple Israel said religious leaders are now making plans to bring members of each of the different congregations, young and old, together.
Remember, hate is taught. Hate is not something that's in one's blood.
The group also plans to work together on social justice issues and gun violence.
I think it's not for one church or synagogue or religious leader to solve. It's really about a community coming together in joint purpose, and having those relationships from our trip will hopefully help us be able to do that even better.
So Nadia, have any of these religious leaders worked together before this trip?
Some have. In fact, Pastor Erwin Trollinger told me he met local rabbis more than a decade ago following a tragedy. He said they've gathered for many more since, and unfortunately we've had a lot of them lately, which he says shows the transformation in people he's hoping for hasn't happened yet.
All right.